Can Wesley So outplay Magnus Carlsen in one of the sharpest Sicilian battles of the year? Let's see how it goes.
Pawn to e4. White immediately claims central. Pawn to c5. Magnus chooses the Sicilian defense, aiming for an unbalanced and fighting game. Knight to f3. White develops a piece and prepares the central advance. Pawn to e6. Black keeps a flexible structure and prepares future development. Pawn to d4. White challenges the center and seeks active play. Pawn takes pawn on d4. Black exchanges in the center. Knight takes pawn on d4. White centralizes the knight and gains activity. Pawn to a6. Black prevents the knight. Bishop to d3. White points toward the king side and prepares attacking ideas. Knight to c6. Black develops naturally and pressures the center. Knight takes knight on c6. White damages black's pawn structure. Pawn takes knight on c6. Black accepts doubled pawns, but gains open lines for the bishops. Knight to d2. White prepares to improve the knight's position. Pawn to e5. Black grabs more space and limits white's pieces. Knight to c4. The knight finds an excellent square and eyes important targets. Bishop to e6. Black develops and supports the center. Queen to h5. White immediately creates pressure against the king side. Bishop takes knight on c4. Black removes an active piece, but loses some initiative. Bishop takes bishop on c4. White keeps an active bishop, aimed toward the enemy king. Queen to e7. Black defends and connects the rooks. Queen to e2. White maintains pressure and prepares long castling. Pawn to g6. Black chases the queen and strengthens the dark squares. Pawn to h4. White begins a direct kingside attack. Bishop to h6. Black wants to exchange attacking pieces. Bishop takes bishop on h6. White gives up the bishop pair to weaken black's defenses. Knight takes bishop on h6. Black recaptures, but the knight becomes misplaced. King castles queenside. White commits to an aggressive plan. Knight to g8. Black retreats and loses valuable time. Pawn to h5. White gains space and prepares to open lines. Knight to f6. Black finally brings the knight back into the game. Pawn takes pawn on g6. White starts opening the king side. Pawn takes pawn on g6. Black's king position becomes more vulnerable. Pawn to g3. White supports future expansion.
Rook to d8. Magnus contests the open file. Pawn to f4. Wesley strikes in the center and increases pressure. Rook takes rook on d1. Magnus tries to reduce attacking chances. Rook takes rook on d1. White keeps active pieces and maintains momentum. King to f8. Black improves king safety. Pawn to f5. A strong advance that restricts black's position. King to g7. Black searches for shelter. Pawn to g4. White gains more space and prepares further expansion. Pawn to h6. Black attempts to slow the attack. Bishop to e6. The bishop becomes a powerful attacking piece. Rook to d8. Magnus continues defending. Rook to h1. White brings another attacker toward the king. Knight to h7. Black becomes passive and struggles to coordinate. King to b1. White removes any back rank concerns. Pawn to g5. Magnus closes the position, but creates weaknesses. Queen to h2. Wesley adds another attacker to the king side. Queen to f6. Black defends key squares. Pawn to c3. White secures the center and improves coordination. Knight to f8. Magnus reorganizes pieces for defense. Bishop to b3. White keeps pressure along the diagonal. Rook to d6. Black reinforces defensive resources. Pawn to a4. White gains space on the queen side. Pawn to a5. Magnus stops further expansion. Queen to f2. White prepares a decisive queen maneuver. Knight to d7. Black makes a critical mistake and allows penetration. Queen to a7. White invades and targets weaknesses deep inside. Queen to d8. Magnus is forced to defend. Queen takes pawn on b7. White wins material, and increases the pressure. Queen to b6. Black seeks counterplay but remains under attack. Pawn to f6 check. A powerful breakthrough that opens lines toward the king. King to g6. Black has little choice. Queen to c8. A beautiful move creating multiple threats at once. Knight takes pawn on f6. Magnus grabs material but walks into a mating net. Queen to f8. A stunning finishing move. White threatens unavoidable mate. Can you find a sequence?